Shipwreck in the dark.
Hi, Shipwright here, and this is the first Let's Play of a game called Particulars, in alpha at the moment. Game's published by Surprise Attack and developed by See Through Games. It's currently available on Steam Early Access for £6.99 or your local equivalent. Big thank you to Steve from Surprise Attack for supporting YouTube channels and allowing the recording of this game. Steam description of this game is: Particulars is a game with a unique combination of arcade action and puzzle gameplay, set in the mysterious world of subatomic particles. Taking control of a single quark, you must negotiate the fundamental forces of the universe. Other particles will push and pull at you. You'll always be on the brink of losing control and being dragged towards annihilation. Woven through the game is the story of Allison, a young physicist with a troubled past. Her journey through the subatomic world is drenched in memories, both good and bad, and will ultimately lead her to some surprising revelations. Okay, so this game was greenlit by the Steam community. What I'm going to do is, I had a little test of this for recording purposes, and just to see how it worked. I like to go in a little bit prepared. So I'm going to start a new game, and we can see where Allison's at and what the game's all about. So we have this lovely artwork, and the particulars being looks like information about somebody. And the artwork's gorgeous in this cutscene. I hope to see more of this in later development. Adds to the atmosphere. And I've got quite a long, fairly long loading screen here, I think. I sound a bit nasally today. It's probably because I've been on a diet for 4 weeks and no carb and no dairy, and then it was my birthday yesterday, so I had a pizza, and I woke up this morning feeling really rough. I think it's the carbs that I'm not used to. So excuse me, I feel like I've got a cold as well. Anyway, the game fully loads into the system, so when I was practicing it yesterday, the levels are pretty seamless. So welcome to the subatomic world.
You're a really difficult person to get to know, Ali. Graham Jones, ex-boyfriend, 2009.
Yeah, so we get an introduction to Allison and how difficult she is to get to know. So this is us. We're a quark. This little thing in the middle, and it's W, A, S, and D keys, and it has this fluid movement that once you start setting the quark off, it keeps moving. So you have to counterbalance your movements, which is a real challenge to me because I'm not the most coordinated person in the world. I usually play sort of click games with a mouse, I suppose. I'm not an FPS fan, so my WAS and D isn't very good. However, the controls are extremely responsive, and you kind of get the hang of it after a while. For a lot of you guys who probably play a lot more games than me, or are better coordinated, you shouldn't find it any problem at all. So I'm going to press enter and we'll go into the first. So I have to deliver myself. I'm a quark. I think I'm a negatively charged subparticle. Yeah. And you put yourself in here, and there you go. And the developers have done really well because they've got this press F feedback.
Despite the setbacks she has recently suffered, Allison has made great strides in her science classes this year. Patricia Lord, School Report 2002.
So as we complete levels, we learn a little bit more about Allison. I was just saying as well, I think they've got partial controller support, so I'm gonna probably have a go trying with my gamepad, just see if I find that easier as well. Got to remember it is in alpha development, and there's a lot planned for this game, although there's enough here already to make it a challenging and worthwhile game. Learn to slow down. Okay, so I think the tutorial stages we're teaching you, just getting you used to the controls, where you counterbalance, and look, there's a timer, and there we go. And like I was saying before, I'll come back to that bit in a moment.
You're just like your mother. She used to stay up all night, just looking for a single bug in the code she was working on. Robert Bob Scott. Father, 2005.
I think it says a lot for an indie greenlit game that they've got voice acting on it as well, which is fantastic. Really adds to the atmosphere. Okay, so I was saying before, the developers have put this feature in where I think it's probably just for the alpha stage, where you can press F and it gives you a contact form. You can actually send them direct feedback from within the game. So it just shows how community driven the developers and publishers are, really. So I've got to collect data pods. Collect 2 data pods. Okay, these little things appear. Here we go. It grants us a brief invulnerability, and we have to grab it. So I can move really fast. You bounce off the sides. You're not going to crash yet. So that helps me. There we go. But they do disappear after a while. Okay, so we know a little bit more about Ali. I'm going to just play through a few levels. I'm going to show you this game very briefly, I suppose. I'm really into it. They're just flying around with the quarks, quite mesmerising, but then I'm easily pleased by some of the simplest things. You have to give it a go, because you can feel the controls, you're really moving with it. Okay, so I want to take us up to a point where we've got a little bit more challenges, and then we'll leave it there, and I'll come back and do some other Let's Plays of how well or how not so well I can do at this game. Okay, so the anti enticing but deadly, I think, here we go, it's going to tell us about these now. Remember, we're negatively charged, and they're positively charged, the anti-down quark, and they'll attract, so we have to stay away from it. Oh dear me. And we've got to collect 4 data pods. Now he's going to come close to me. Oh my god. Right, okay. It does get you on the edge of the seat when they start putting things in that can kill you or annihilate you. So you've got to...
Date, 7 June 2003. Student, Alison Scott. Citation, punching fellow student Lee Altridge after he took her science textbook.
Ooh.
Due to the mitigating circumstances, Alison will be given a second chance, but this behaviour must not continue.
Alison was...
3-day suspension.
Alison was having a difficult time at school by the looks of it.
Envelope, 2003.
So this amazing physicist was having a really tough time at school. Okay, so let's see if we can get a couple more levels. Okay, so remember, we're a negatively charged quark. There's positively charged anti-down quarks, anti-down that can annihilate us. And we have some particle pairs here, and let's have a look. Alright, so these particles, these are the same charges, these are negatively charged, and we can push them. And they get attracted to the positively charged, and they annihilate. So there we go.
You don't like to talk about your feelings, do you? Why do you think that is? Karen McRae, former therapist, 2004.
Okay, so we know Alison's Alison's was seeing a therapist. I think the story bit really adds to it. It makes you want to know more about Alison, makes you want to complete the levels. It gives it a background story that's rather interesting. The gameplay as a physics puzzler is extremely unique, I think. I've only ever really played physics puzzlers, you know, along the lines of Angry Birds and things like that, where you're stationary and you solve the puzzle by shooting things, and the physics tends to be gravity and stuff. And this is positively and negatively charged, attracting subparticles. Some will annihilate you, some will help you win the game, and there gets to be a hell of a lot on screen that you're kind of running around like this big smash. Okay, so everything feels, you feel them too. Yeah, so even though she doesn't talk about her feelings, the story is intertwined with the actual levels here. Everything feels, you feel them too. So we know Alison feels, she just doesn't talk about her feelings. So likes repel, opposites attract, as we know from if you've any basic high school physics. And oh, see, I can push them. Oh, I've got a invulnerability there. I've got to there we go. So I don't have to destroy the other one. I could just complete that.
The intensity of your focus on physics is intoxicating. I hope that our college will be a haven within which you can unleash your passion. Jeffrey Q, Dean of Admissions, later arrested, 2009.
The Dean of Admissions was later arrested? Okay. Right, okay. This is the level that I got up to in my practice, because I think this starts to get difficult now. As you move, it puts down anti-down quarks, and then it will put out some of these other negatively charged particles that you've got to annihilate. So we've got to annihilate 6 particle pairs. So as I move around, it'll put them out. I'm trying to space them out as far as I can, really, but I don't know whether that's a good job. And then the others start attracting to you as you, and it'll only put out the other particles. There we go. So I'm trying to get away. Now it'll only put these out. If I stand here, they'll all go out, and we might. Oh, there we go. I've got invulnerability there, and we've done it. I've got to say, this is going much better than the practice.
Like a comet in endless space, in the far-off distance, I can see your frozen face, but you can't hear me. You can't hear me. The XYZ comet.
Okay, we're going to leave it there for this first video, but thanks very much for tuning in. If you liked the video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more particulars. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys soon.